Hello, YouTube and BitChute friends. Considering the fact that I've been commenting on the shit show called pandemic, some sort of an event that was created in order to create, well, it was created in order to get a population to be totally subservient to its rulers. This was my understanding from the very beginning. Within a week of the shit show starting and all the regulations that were being brought in, considering that I had made several videos for which I was struck by YouTube. I got probably 7 or 8 strikes over a period of time. They don't delete you if you wait long enough and stuff. They could just delete me because there were so many other videos that were in their estimation misinformation, medical misinformation, all that kind of shit that they've the whole circumstance, what I call the shit show, all falls in line. And you either get it or you don't. And if you don't get it, I don't think you'll ever get it. It's like it's sort of like the sort of proclamation that a lot of the truther types want to do is like, wake up, oh people, wake up, quick, wake up. It doesn't work that way. For whatever reason, I don't really understand, but it doesn't work that way. People don't wake up unless they want to wake up. And if they don't get it, they don't want to get it. So I thought I'd comment today just briefly. The Rulu, the commissioner for deciding whether or not the Emergency Act here in Canada was warranted, basically gave a rubber stamp of approval with a few sort of in parentheses maybe. He had some slight variation on a theme, basically saying, yes, go ahead and oppress people the way you have for the last 3 years, but not so much. A little less. I haven't read the report. I was just listening to people commenting on his report, which he basically said yes. Our fearless leader has been vindicated by a liberal insider. Rulu was a liberal. I think he worked for Turner, another liberal prime minister. So it's like from the beginning, and it doesn't really matter because either people get it or they don't. What I was struck by, just sort of, what was curious for me, was this number that comes up, which is kind of a bit disturbing to me, which is that several times there was a reference to the 6 million Canadians that refused to get injected with the Fauci juice. And why 6 million? Where else were people sort of injected on the other side of things? Where else were 6 million people afflicted in recent history? I'm just saying, I don't know why. You see, reality becomes suspect when these confluences, these coincidences, kinky dinky winkies, sort of overflow each other. Like 6 million Canadians were marginalized by the fearless leader, and if he if he could have, not sure why he didn't. I think it appears almost like people don't really give a shit, so he could have just rounded up 6 million and put them into camps. So you see what I'm saying. Reality is a rather curious phenomenon. It's a beast to get to get a handle on. So that kind of struck me today. I don't know why. I was just struck by the fact that 6 million Canadians refused to take the experimental injection, which is on my side of things. That would have been medical misinformation, but it is in fact, turns out more and more, the facts are now confirming all the suspicions, or rather, I would prefer to not call them suspicions, but the facts as I understood them, have been vindicated over the last 6, 7, 8 months. by the authorities themselves, by the CDC, by the WHO. The injection does not prevent transmission or getting sick. So, and now the VAERS, which are the reports that come in about, how you have to weigh as informed consent, what are the side effects to something and what are the benefits. People weren't given that opportunity because the our fearless leader and everywhere else in the world were so obsessed with getting this through. There was something wrong here. There was something very wrong. Anyway, people came out en masse. 6 million Canadians were in protest. I think for every protester in Ottawa, there were probably 100 people who agreed with them, or maybe 1,000 for every single one. So it was a magnificent event. It has been peripheralized. The feelings and emotions that people have are being systematically peripheralized in a system where what I would say is do as I say, not as I do kind of system. So yeah, I've been commenting on the shit show, so I should really make a comment about the Rulu report. And I never had really any expectation. I listened to quite a bit of coverage on it, and as I'm listening, I think that it was clear there was no moral, legal, situational right for some kind of extreme act of vengeance to be called the Emergency Act to be invoked. There was nothing in the evidence whatsoever. And this commissioner knew this, but he kind of had to, he's on the payroll too, I'm sure. It's like, the extensiveness of the payroll is disheartening, for people when you start thinking about it. So, okay, what's my positive note here? The positive note is that the simple solution, I believe, the way things are resolved is for each person to get closer and closer to that sweet spot within themselves that allow them to do the right thing as often as possible. So this is an exercise that everyone can participate in, whether it's on an emotional level, intellectual level, spiritual level. The idea to do the right thing makes a lot of sense to me. And it's so obvious. It's such an obvious exercise, really, when you think about it. It's the ultimate exercise in being human, that what is the highest part of ourselves, and to have lived doing the right thing. Of course, people can always argue right, wrong, no, it's not, because we have a conscience. So as soon as you get engaged with people trying to dance on a pin of, right and truth and this and that and what is right, what is wrong, I have an argument that one thing, well, it may be an exercise of determination at times, but fundamentally, I have this faith that for whatever reason, every human being, even psychopaths, have been given this ability to do the right thing if they so choose. But then, of course, choice, this is even biblical, that what is referred to as free will, choice exists, and this is ultimately the great redeemer, as far as I'm concerned, in all our activities. So, we can keep our eyeballs on the world out there and see how it is progressively degenerating, like we saw today with this official report again, rubber stamping and confirming a psychopath's decision to oppress a population, and that do as I say, not as I do character. That's what he is, 100%. He always says the freedom and democracy, and then he does the exact opposite. This is so obvious. It's exposed. Christine, someone in the European Parliament, did a great little speech about this. So anyway, since I have been commenting over the last 3 years on this topic, which I think has been one of the most egregious worldwide events to have been perpetrated against a population that is basically ready for it. I mean, the reason it worked, I heard a report yesterday that supposedly, I don't believe this, but supposedly 5 billion people have been given the Fauci juice. 5 billion people accepted the Fauci. It's hard for me to comprehend, because if they in fact did, and I think that many of those were actually given placebos, because it would be too devastating all at once for the owners to allow a big mistake. Well, it's not a mistake, but an intervention to the extent that they intervened in our physical body. It's like, my body, my choice. No, 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 no. No body, no choice when it comes to this. Everything else, oh, well, think about it. But I have my doubts about the 5 billion. The 6 million still bug me. Canadians. Why 6 million? Why not 5? Why not 7? Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, I'll just leave it here. I thought I'd make a comment on the Rulu thing, and I hope you're all well. And yeah, maybe at the end. Okay, at the end of it, I'll just attach this. What I find some joy in doing occasionally is in the video that I'm going to attach. I had a bit of R&R with my niece, and just we found some free ice time. So there is always something that can make us feel better about ourselves, and joining up with people, and in this case, just horsing around a bit.
Well, my mama, she didn't allow me just to stay out all night long. Oh, Lord. Well, my mama didn't allow me just to stay out all night long. I didn't care if she didn't allow. I would boogie boogie in a house. When I first come to town, people, I was walking down Hastings Street. I heard everybody talking about the Henry Swain Club. I said I'd drop in there that night. And when I got there, I said, yes, people, yes, they were really having a ball. Yes, I know. Boogie, children. One night I was laying down. I heard Mom and Papa talking. I heard Papa tell Mama to let that boy boogie woogie, 'cause it's in him and it got to come out. Well, I felt so good, and I went on boogie wooging just the same. Yes. I took a freight train to be my friend. Oh Lord. You know I hoboed, 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 hoboed a long, long ways from home. Oh Lord. You know my mother, she found me that morning, that morning. She found me down to the yard. Oh Lord. She said, my son, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Yes, he's gone in the woods somewhere. Oh Lord. You know I left my dear old mother, dear old mother, dear old mother. She was on her knees crying, oh Lord. You know I hoboed, 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 hoboed a long, long ways from home. Oh Lord. Hey, hello there, all you hip cats. This is rhythm number 2. All y'all stop a while. Now let's jump a while. Yeah. I'm a crawling king snake, and I rule my den. Well, I'm a crawling king snake, and I rule my den. Don't want you around my maid, wanna use her for myself. You know you caught me crawling now, baby. Well, when the grass was very high, I'm just gonna keep on crawling now, baby.